Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, spring is finally upon us. It is currently plus 3 degrees. That's 3 degrees above zero on the Celsius scale, and that's awesome. That means it's t-shirt weather and shorts weather. So today, I wanted to give you guys something I said I wasn't going to do anymore, but there's a reason behind it. So today we're going to go take a peek at everybody at the farm, see how everybody's doing after the long winter we've had. So let's go and take a peek. So as you can see, Snowmageddon has finally started to, well, I guess to most people, I wouldn't say it's gone, but you know, that was probably about 14 feet tall at one point in time. It's probably now about 7. So it is starting to go down. The area that's all cleared out, obviously, is the area that was cleared out you would have seen in any other videos that we've cleared using the tractor. Now, the tractor makes an absolute disaster of the yard, so even after everything's all said and done and all cleaned up and dried up, we're still going to have one hell of a mess behind us. So even though it's the temperature I showed you, you can see that the ground is actually still ice. It will be changing today because it dropped down to about -5 last night, and now it's +3, and it's going to a high of +5 today. And there's Leia. Hi, baby. So it's starting to come, and it's coming fast and furious, and that means the farm was an absolute mess. So basically yesterday, my wife and I spent pretty much the entire day dealing with the situation. So let's first take a quick peek at the guys in here. These guys have spent pretty much the entire winter cooped up inside their coop because it was just too cold. So what we've done is this coop here, I emptied the coop out. Normally we would empty it out into buckets and we'd haul it away with the tractor over into a pile and we basically make our own compost. But because the conditions within inside the coop were just so bad, we had to get the stuff out and give the animals fresh bedding. There we go. And there's the spoils of our labor already this morning. And everybody's out. Nobody's inside. That's awesome. But overall, the coop has fared well. There's been no issues this year. Lots and lots and lots of cleanup, as you can see. You know, the snows, this is all frozen ground. You don't want to go and pile straw on top of all the frozen snow, because then the snow won't melt as quickly. But bit of a mess, but it's something that's easily workable. But because this winter was just so severe, what you do for the animals when you live up where we live is we just keep doing what's called deep bedding. You don't take a lot of the bedding away, you just can constantly add to it and make it deeper and deeper and deeper, which basically means that in the springtime, you've got a lot more to clean up and deal with. And then you add in this massive quick melt, that means the animals get wet, they go in, and the bedding starts to get wet. So in the other coop, the newly acquired one, the shed that we got, this one we stripped out entirely as well. All you can see, all new clean dry bedding. We've got a couple of silkies that pretty much never go outside. You know, they've got their water, they've got their food, and everything's good. This was an old, I bought this, it was a shed, but they called it a playhouse, hence all the colors and stuff like that. It was a kid's playhouse, and we bought this at an auction. It's got a great little skylight type feature and stuff, which makes it great. That way we actually get some sort of egg production even in the winter, which is very, very uncommon for a lot of the chickens we keep. They need sunlight to be able to lay eggs. Our old trampoline, now granted this is not the one that the kids use. We got a new one this year as a birthday gift for the youngest Paisley. But the old one, even though the cloth wasn't as trusted, everything else worked fine, and we wrap it in chicken wire, and this becomes like a nursery for after my wife hatches chicks. They usually go in underneath it. It acts like shade cloth, and then they're also nice and contained. But now we're going to have to figure out something different for this year because the amount of snow that came on top of it eventually just basically tore the whole thing apart, and the whole thing fell apart. So the steel frame is still good for something, but the rest we're going to have to figure out something else. All right. So here we are is basically cleaning out that big white chicken shed that's right there. All the bedding from that went into here because this, right now, because the ground is still hard and frozen right now in most spots, this is going to seem rather, it's not that bad to walk on, but this is like an absolute swamp here. This is kind of a lower lying area. And to be able to get the tractor and work in here, we have to build it up a little bit. So we've gone and put all the used bedding down here. Over here, this is that newly seeded field. So this is the field that's going to be for the boars. And we had them contained, but because the ground raised up so fast, don't want to slip here, because the ground came up so fast, you could see the difference in the ground. And granted, that's gone down by at least a foot already. Their ground on the other side was almost to the bottom of this board, so it wasn't going to work. So it became a bit of a problem. So we'll show you where they ended up. How you doing, Stanley? Yeah, you noisy birds. Don't be a jerk. And there's baby Merida. And there's Chewy. And there's Bella. And the three of them are absolutely no worse for wear. They absolutely love the cold weather. This is when we're going to get messy though, right? Yeah. So they basically take all the spent hay and they basically make a bed, and they absolutely love this. Kind of the area where they hang out most of the time now. And everybody's out. There's Vader front and center right there. The beautiful Betty White. Cheese. Cheese is a bit of a jerk. And then from the other shed, we moved over Gilbert and Percy. And we moved all the boars over. Now, we moved over Vader earlier because both Betty and Cheese, they're ready to go. And we wanted to see if we could have a litter. And we're looking at the earliest, if they are. My wife was examining them yesterday to try and see if she could guess whether or not it had taken or not. But if it did take at all, we wouldn't be looking at having any babies till about June, which is perfect timing because you don't want to have to deal with them in this muck, and you don't want to deal with them when it's way too cold. At least we don't. Hi guys! How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Hey, how you doing, Gilbert? And you, Percy? I like your nose. I like your speckly nose, Percy. Well, this area here, we took all the bedding that you see on the ground here, the spent bedding. This is all the stuff that came out of the shed that's right behind me, and we'll take a peek at it soon. And you can see I've brought the tractor in because the snow got to be so bad throughout the winter. We started making all these mountains trying to move the product away. So now we're going to be dealing with a bit of a swamp type situation. Normally the animals that are on the other side of that fence there, so where Chewy, Bella, and Merida are, they're going to be brought in shortly. As the ground starts to melt more, they're going to be brought in this way, and then that gate's going to be closed. And then all the animals will be contained just past the cow shed in this little area here, and they'll be caned until the grass is growing. And that means that feeding is going to be even a bit more of a challenge. I didn't bring the drill out, but this is the pig shed. This is the pig shed where Vader, Betty White, and Cheese are in. And we have to lock it up because Chewy knows how to open the door. So we have to bring a drill out, unscrew those things, lift the board off, and then we can get in there. But this one has been completely stripped right down to the floor. And because I mentioned that thing about the deep bedding, this one here had almost 1.5 feet of solid muck. Just absolutely disgusting to work with. And because it's a small shed, we're not commercial farmers by any means, we don't have a big giant barn, we can't get any implements in that, so we have to do everything by hand. So yesterday was not a fun day to be a farmer. So I'll give you an idea of what we were dealing with. Like you can see on the ground here, the amount of water that we have here. It's going to take a while for this to go off, but I am taking a week's holidays, and that's really to get a whole bunch of stuff taken care of. Now, most of the hens are on this side here, and that's the rooster. He's the one that takes care of this group, and most of the hens have left the other side and come to here, because both pig sheds had chickens above them. But this gives you an idea. We can't even really open the door, and I don't know how dark it is. I'm going to be able to see anything, but it doesn't look as bad because this one only had the 2 boys. The other one had 3. But this is a solid, spongy mass of dirt. And it's about right now, it's probably at least about 10 inches thick. So it's going to be a bit not fun to clean this one out. Now, there's a reason for me kind of doing this video, just besides showing you all the muck and everything else that we're tending to deal with, is many of you guys have asked about what's happening, why Biggs doesn't do any farm videos as much as he used to before. Well, there's several parts to that. Hi, Merida. Part number one is the fact that my channel was designed to be around fish sciences, botanical sciences, and then whatever came about with that. Hi, big boy. Hi, Chewy. Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah. I got even a hole in my boot, so I got to be careful where I'm walking around out here. Oh, he's a good boy. Yeah. And as you guys can tell, my channel has morphed and changed dramatically since the pandemic started. But now that everything's starting to open up in the world again, the bigs will get back out there and start traveling again, bringing the madness to the people, and then we'll start having a lot more fun on that side. That doesn't mean that I don't want to do the farm stuff. So what we decided, my wife and I, a while back, was to separate the farm channel from the At Aquarist. So we are launching the channel. It is already live. We're not going to be doing a lot of videos on it yet. We want to do it mainly for the spring. And I know I said the spring's upon us, but I mean the nice spring, not the dirty, filthy, gross spring. This is the time of year that it's just absolutely painful. It's so much work to deal with outside here. The idea of trying to think of doing something. We want to wait until we have some nice grass, and then we can go out and do videos showing off all the animals, and then we'll continue on through all 4 seasons thereafter. But trying to launch it in the springtime with the amount of work, it's too much work. So I'll put the link in the description here, but you guys need to go. If you want to follow anything about the crazy antics that happen here on the farm, you're going to want to go to Outnumbered Acres, the Little Biggs Farm. So you guys know my last name. Everybody knows me as Biggs, the Little Biggs Farm. So if you guys can find it on there, I think I posted about 6 or 8 little short videos that we shot yesterday. But if you guys want to go check it out there, that'd be awesome. Give me a sub, give me a share, and then you'll see the animals grow up along with us. So as you can see, work never stops here, but it's a pretty blessed life to be able to do what we do. We have some great animals, we have some great adventures, and some great times. So if you guys will join us for the ride, hopefully we'll see you on the other channel, Outnumbered Acres, the Little Big Farm. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.